So I'm here again at my kids' basketball practice again, and I thought we could go over maybe some salon etiquette and things about hairstyling and hairstylists in the salon industry that you may not know. So we'll kick it off with, if you are going to a booth rent salon, there's two different types of salon. There's a booth rent salon and there's a commission salon. I own a booth rent salon. That means that the stylists rent a booth from me, so it's kind of like they rent their station and I'm like their landlord. There's commission salons where those stylists actually work for the owner, and the owner makes money from the stylist by whatever services they do. There's usually a sliding scale, like 60-40, so the stylist makes 60% and the salon owner makes 40%. Those are commission salons. My salon is a booth rent salon, so that means I charge them a fee to rent that booth, and they run a business within my business. So with that knowledge, when you don't show for an appointment, especially for a booth rent salon, those girls don't get paid. They don't make money. If there's like a 2-hour time slot, you didn't show up for a color or give them enough notice and cancel, like 24 to 48 hours ahead, they don't get paid. And so it's really hard in our industry because we try to keep our books filled or double book. Sometimes we'll double book clients. So that means I may have a color at 9, and after I get her color on, I'll do another color at 9:30, and I flip flop those girls. And that's just so we can make sure that we are making the most we can with our time, because if someone cancels or no shows too, then we have an empty void during the day and we make no money. So it's really hard. So just be courteous when you do need to. It happens. People miss, people forget, people have sick kids. We get it. It happens. It's okay. But if you can let us know 24 to 48 hours in advance, that would be fantastic, because we usually can fill a spot if we have enough notice. So just keep that in mind. Also, when you come to the hair salon, know that, if you have your phone and stuff, maybe put it on silent. Just sit and relax and enjoy your service. We're all so busy. We're always rushing and going and taking kids here, taking them there, going to work, going to the gym, going to the grocery store. We're just so busy. And when you come to the salon, we want you to enjoy the pampering and the time and be relaxed and just quiet. And so, if you can, put your phones on silent and just sit back and enjoy getting your hair done. You don't have to talk on the phone when we're cutting your hair, because usually, somebody's out here and then they got to switch over to this side, or they're in the bowl and they're getting it wet, or they need a towel because they got hair color on their phone. We get it. Life is busy, but if you can, just turn it off and enjoy it. This time is your time, so we want you to enjoy it. So another thing that is a really good tip for when you are coming to a salon is that you arrive about 10 minutes early. So if we have your appointment at 1 o'clock, let's say, and you show up right at 1 o'clock, that's okay. It's just, you're squeaking by. Me personally, I like to run early. I'm an early bird. I don't like to run late. Usually if I'm running late, it's because, somebody else showed up late usually. So I try never to run late. I'm usually running early. I always mark out enough time to make sure that I'm going to finish a little bit early. So if my next client shows up early, I start on them early. And it's great. And my clientele, they know that about me. They show up and they're like, let's go. If I tell them 9 o'clock, they show up 8:45 and we start. So if you can do that for your stylist, they would appreciate it so much, just to show up, about 10 minutes early before your appointment. So that way, if they're running early or on time, they can get you right in. If you show up even 5 minutes late, it really throws our day off. So really, even 15 minutes late, then our whole day, we get behind, and it just continues to fall behind. And it's not fair to the clients after you. So if you can make sure that you show up, like I said, 10, even 5 minutes earlier than your appointment time, that would be great. And I can speak for myself that I always try to run early. I know there's a lot of stylists that run behind too. And so if you're a stylist out there that continuously runs behind, try to start maybe coming in earlier or starting earlier. I don't know. But also, at least let your clients know too that you are running behind, because I think clients appreciate that too. If you can get a text and say like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm running 15 minutes behind. Can you come in 15 minutes? And just let them know. So it's a courtesy both ways. It's a hard, tricky schedule, our schedules. So, I just think that's a really nice courtesy if you can do that for each other. And here's another tip that can kind of be a little touchy, on the touchy side. So I'm going to try to say it. So if you have children, we welcome your children. Most salons welcome children. we want, we love growing up with your families. Like, I have cut some kids' hair when they were little kids, and now they're like in college or getting married and having babies, and it's so weird. It makes me feel old, but I love it. I love that I've got to grow up with these children and see them grow up. But if they have, little ones, if you have appointments for them, bring them in, let them get their hair cut. We love seeing your kids, and we love seeing your family and getting to know you, because you guys become our friends and family. But if you are getting your hair colored, and you're the mom, and I once again, I get it. There's times that, your babysitter falls through, something happens, your husband didn't show up, you had to bring the kids. I get it. It happens. It's okay. If you can't avoid that, then we would love that. The only fact is that we can't watch your kids. So if you're getting your hair colored and we're trying to stay on schedule, we've got someone double booked while you're there, we're trying to get your hair done, we're trying to, do all these things and stay on schedule and focus on your hair and what we're doing, because what we're doing is pretty serious if you think about chemicals. I mean, if you could see kind of the background of what we're doing to your hair, you would know that we really need to stay focused. So when you have your kids there and they're running and swinging from chandeliers and jumping in shampoo bowls and, running through the beads of, my salon has beads in it, so they run through the beads, or they're spinning in stylist chairs and they're just all over the place, and you can't get up because we're working on you. We can't stop because we're working on you. And so and then other clients may be getting irritated because they're there to relax away from their kids and they just want a nice moment for themselves. And so we just ask, if you can, get a sitter or somebody that you could bring even with you to watch your children, or leave them at home with your husband or a grandma or whatever, because it's going to be a better experience for everyone all around. We're going to do a better job for your hair. We're not going to be stressed, because usually we're stressed when kids are in there and they're running all over the place. We as stylists get really anxious and stressed because there's a lot of things that can get hurt. There's a lot of chemicals, there's sharp scissors, there's hot irons, there's things that really stress us out that they could get hurt. And we got to focus on your hair. You can't move, and and it's not fair to the other clients and stylists. So if you have an appointment for them, please bring them in. If you can leave them at home, fantastic. But again, we welcome your family, we welcome your children, but that's just something that I know provides a little extra stress for us. So that would be a great thing. Maybe we can work together on that and make it so it's not so stressful. So on scheduling appointments, I've been doing this for 17 years, and the scheduling has become a very tricky thing for us hairstylists. Before you just called the salon, you either talked to a receptionist or you talked to your stylist and they made an appointment. Well, now we have cell phones. And not only do we have cell phones, we have texting. And not only do we have texting, we have Facebook and Facebook Messenger. And we have direct messages on Instagram. And all of these things that we have people contacting us every which way. And so it's sometimes really tricky to keep up with clients this way. So just know that if you do text us or direct message us or private message us or Facebook, however you try to get a hold of us, or if you call the salon or you leave a message, if you email, if you don't hear back from us, we're not ignoring you. Sometimes we forget, or we got the message. I've looked at my text messages and looked at it like right in the middle of a color, and then forgot to go back and check it. And then a couple days later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to text Diane back. So you have to know that can happen. So if that does happen, just send us another text, send us another message, or call the salon just to make sure we got it, because we do not want to miss. You are our bread and butter, you are our livelihood, and so we do not want to miss getting you in for your appointment. So please don't be upset if something happens like that, where maybe a stylist forgets to call you back. Just feel free to reach back out to them, because it is a new kind of era for us, for a stylist, because there's so many ways to reach out to us. And maybe also try to keep in mind, when you do contact your stylist, to kind of contact them between like 8 and 5, 8 and 6, somewhere around that time. A lot of people, I know they're getting up and ready for work, but I know I've gotten messages at 5:30 in the morning about hair, or I've gotten one at midnight before. So, I know people think, well, I'm just going to send a quick text so I don't forget, but then, it comes to your phone. So that's just something to kind of consider when you are trying to make an appointment. Either rebook at your last appointment, so that way it's already on the books, or make sure that, when you text, that you're doing it between like 8 and 5, 8 and 6, and just kind of respect that stylist this home life as well. And then, you know, leave them a message and we will get back to you. And if we don't, just remind us. It's not a big deal. We will not be upset if you need to keep bugging us, because we might forget. So when you do come to your next appointment, make sure that you're wearing clothes that are not going to be in the way of when, like, you get your hair cut or your hair colored. You know, throw on a little t-shirt or something. Throw something on that maybe doesn't have a collar. No turtlenecks, please. Just make sure that you have like the proper attire on, because we are working with chemicals and, you know, water and all these things. We don't want to ruin your clothes. And when you have like a shorter haircut, anything bulky around here actually gets in the way when we need you to look down. So if you can make sure that you have the proper wardrobe on, that helps us immensely. Keep in mind, if you come into the salon and you want a complete change and you've had previously colored hair, we can't go lighter easily. We can go darker very easily, but if you're already dark and you want to go lighter, you can't just go lighter real fast. It's something that it really takes a process, okay? So you really have to understand that it's not going to happen in one sitting. So this is important, because I think a lot of people come in with their hopes up, like going from Catherine Zeta-Jones to Jennifer Aniston in one swoop. That's not going to happen. And you know, you could do that. It might take like 7 hours and $1,000 if you want to do that, but most people don't. So it's going to take several sessions. Just know that when your stylist tells you no, there's probably a good reason to it. So if they tell you no, I can't do that, maybe it's because they don't have the time and you didn't give them enough notice. Maybe it's the integrity of your hair can't take it. You know, so you just have a conversation with them, because there are reasons and variables, reason why they can't do it right then. They want to make sure, again, they don't want to lose you as a client. They want your hair to look the best it can possibly look. So if something like that comes up, where they're like, no, we really can't do that, listen to them. They have experience, they have knowledge, they know more about your hair and what the chemical can do to it. So just be sure to be open-minded and understand and work with your stylist. You will come up with a way to get to that point, but you just have to work with them and understand that it could take longer than just one service. So I hope this helped answer any questions that you've always wondered about hairstyling world, and maybe you know, this will help you have a better experience next time you're in the salon. And I thank you guys for watching and being open to coaching, because I know sometimes it's hard to hear some of these things like, "Ooh, I did that, I'm an offender." We love you. You are our clients, you are our livelihood, you're a family. We love you, so anything you do, it couldn't upset us that much. We just want you to know these things, because it will help provide a better service for you in the future. And so I hope that helped you guys. And like I said, this is just my opinion from me, from just a stylist point of view. You know, other stylists may not feel this way, but like I said, just take it for what it is. I mean, it's just my opinion. And I hope it helped. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.